beautiful 67 degrees on this July morning, and I'm gonna do my best to get all the onions out of the garden this morning because we're due for some rain. We've had about 5 days with no rain. I left the onions and the potatoes in the garden so that I could give you guys a tour of the whole thing with the onions still in the ground. Otherwise, there wouldn't have been anything hardly in the garden at all for that. And it's past time to get the onions out of here. So I've actually got onions all down there. They're just kind of everywhere because I put them around the perimeters of a bunch of my beds. There's some, I think there may be some over there. But then across the garden on this side, we have them all around this bed here. I'm actually going to miss them for the benefit of keeping certain animals away. It's time. They're just going to start rotting if I leave them in the ground, so I don't want that. And right here, I think that's all of them. So I will get started pulling these. I think I'm going to separate them into different colors too so I can see kind of how many of each type we've got. If you're new here, welcome to Life on Lilac. My name's Anna and I garden in zone 6A, sometimes considered 5B in northern Indiana. Here's the first bed. Let's see what we can do here. In that short amount of time, I got about half the garden done. I'm going to start at the very end of the west side of the garden and see what we come up with there. Some of them are teeny, like they didn't grow at all. And some of them are nice and big, and this is all just part of planting more than you need. I love to plant volume if I can, if I've got room for it. I actually didn't have room to plant this much volume, which is why I edged a bunch of the beds with onions before I planted them, and that worked just fine. But I would say about half are only about this big, about an inch across, and then the other half are just really nice big onion size. So is it the soil? Is it the weather? Who knows? But that's why I like to plant a lot, because even a full garden of small onions can get you something for storage or to, freeze for later. But if you only plant as much as you think you're going to need, chances are it's not going to grow the way you thought it was, and you won't have enough. So always, always plant more. That's my philosophy. This onion thought that it was on its second year of life. Onions have 2 years of growth. And so it sent up a flower stalk. This is not going to be great for storage. I can still eat it though, fresh. And then it made seeds. So if you pop open one of these little flowers, you'll see a black seed inside. Do you see that? And if I were to leave these flowers in the garden, they would make a pile of onions next spring. So my choices are, get rid of these, save them, because I know this is a red onion, so I could save the seeds and plant red onions, or just sprinkle them around the garden. And to be honest, I have not decided what to do with those. I love the idea of growing my own onions from seed. I don't love the idea at this point of starting seeds inside because I don't have a setup for that. So I'm just gonna sit on that and decide later. Don't you love the sound of onion greens when they're pulled out? Very squeaky. Satisfying. The ones that have the flower stalks, look at the bulb. It's almost nothing. So you really want them to make a bulb and not a flower. Sometimes they just don't know what year it is though. Cute. '24 onion harvest. I don't know how many pounds of onions this is. I don't even know if I'll have the bandwidth to weigh them all. When I planted these, I did not have the energy or time to separate them from white, yellow, and purple. So they were all just planted together. And I think that's fine. But when I'm drying them out and saving them for the future, I will need to separate them because they have different needs as far as storage goes. And I have different uses for them as far as cooking goes. How many do you think we have here? I don't have a clue. A couple hundred, I think.